Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the shocking game that was Essendon versus West Coast. How West Coast won this game, I don't know exactly what I tipped Essendon to win by, but I'm pretty sure I tipped them to win by about 30 or 40. This might be I think this is definitely the worst tipping week for me. Obviously, I dropped some form of like 150 odd ranks or whatever. As well as only getting, I think, half the games right, 4 wins, 4 losses, and a draw, so I technically got 5, but it was really 4-1-4. And this game just capped off the round that was a shocking round for me. Yeah, I somehow got the Collingwood Geelong game right, though, so yeah, take that. But yeah, no, what were Essendon doing? What were they doing? So yeah, before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, 19-23. What was going on in this game? Nanscorn, ridiculous with 17 tackles to try and carry her side across the line. 122 for 31, 42, 30, 19. She was, imagine just playing through with her. Just not even bothering trading with her. She would have had like 2 bad weeks or whatever, I think. If we actually look at Nanscorn, she's just... Nanscorn here, you can see. Look at this progression. She's now averaging 78 on the year, which isn't terrible. Yeah, if she hadn't had this terrible round 4 game against Freo, you probably could have almost carried her through. That's how ridiculous her output has been. These last 3 games, she's averaged over 100, I believe. 103 the last 3 games. It's been ridiculous. Obviously, I'm not going to trade her back in because I don't know whether it's just sort of some superstition I have with that or whatever. But she's been absolutely ridiculous. 1-2-2, just pretty much capped off the year for her. Press Barker's at 114. She's been ridiculous since I said to bring her in. When was that? Let's see. Maddie Press Barker's here. You can see a 119, 109, 94, and a 114. She's averaged 106 in her last 3, 101 overall, and I'm pretty sure her last 4 has been ridiculous in itself. If I just go 318 plus 119 divided by 4, her last 4 games since I said to bring her in, she's gone 109, which would probably be in the top end of the last 3. If we look at averages, I know that this isn't the best, but if we look at the averages, that's top 5 there. And then the last 3, you've got Monconti doing a little bit better, Robon, etc. Hatchard not doing that well. Riddell, I think, is just above that still. Gardner, I believe, is just above that still, and Marinoff obviously still above that in the last 3. But there's only probably 3 or 4 girls in the last 4 games that have scored more than Press Barkers, which is really, really good to see. 2 got off 14 touches, got to 100, which is just ridiculous. 11 tackles. It wasn't even the marks that she did. She just laid tackles. We remember her as a really good marking forward. If you look here, you see here 8 marks, 10 marks, 5 marks, 5 marks, 5, 8, 2. That was her lowest mark total by 3. But she laid the most tackles she's ever done by 2, and that was a 1-2-6 game that she got where that was just a ridiculous game. But other than that, you can see that her next best was a 4, and that's how she really did get those points. And she didn't necessarily get the goals compared to the previous weeks in which she got 3 and 2 in those big games. But that's how she got to a clean 100, which is just huge. Wales a 90, so she's kept up her good work. She was probably the better ruckman to get over the likes of Strom a couple of weeks back. That would have saved me enough to actually go for the move to get Stannard that I discussed in the previous recap. Walker got to an 81 from 15 touches, so she is certainly in the range. And I think if we actually look at Walker here, 717k, so she might actually be the one that I go and grab, and then I'd have 700. I'd have almost 800k to get a forward, and that forward could be pretty much anyone almost in that range, which would be there's not many in that range, to be fair, and that's the problem with this, is that there's not many able to do that, so I might have to look for other options, etc., but we'll wait and see on that one and see what's going on. But there's certainly, I think, ways around it, etc. And then you've got no one else here really doing much for Essendon's sake. And then you have Tierney here, who I put in my in my trade targets, got a 12. So that wasn't the best. And we'll go through that on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see when that video gets done and recorded and uploaded. Then over on West Coast side, you've got Swanson here with a 116, and I believe she was on 100 at three-quarter time. Yeah, 106 at three-quarter time, a 49, 34, 23, 10. This was what we expected at the start of the year. So coming after she did what she did in the first half of the year was quite annoying. But anyway, a 116 still decent. McCarthy 80, Lewis 75, Hooker 73. Thomas saved it in the last quarter to get a 65, unlike the likes of Roberts, who only got a 7. If she'd gotten the 27 that Thomas did, she would have been up around that 65, and that would have been good. But maybe is she a thing to get rid of now that in the last couple of rounds? We'll wait and see on that one. I don't necessarily think it's good to get rid of Roberts, so she has the ability to go ton up, but or get close to the ton. So there's that. Davison 42, Wakefer 42. Wakefer, I believe, is that the Ruckman Wakefer? Yeah, the Ruckman Wakefer with a 42. I still think she's a year or two off being dominant in the women's fantasy, because I think she has the characteristics of a Ruckman that can get around the ground and do really well outside of the hitouts. I don't think she's a main hitouts type Ruckman. So there's that. What is Hartel doing? What is Hartel? Hartel, I don't think she's a defender. So that's an interesting one that she's been given that role, because if she's doing that, could you run a massive risk and basically run her as a D5 and then be able to upgrade the likes of, I'll show you what I mean by this basically. If I do Priest to Hartel, which is a massive play, single, and then Huntington, and then I've got, what do I have? 1.42 million. And then I upgrade to, say, Frederick maybe, or do I have enough there? 252, so I don't have enough for that. So let's maneuver that. And then if we look at round points here, you'll see 2 good. Let's just do this or something. And then you'll see here, I could actually do, instead of this, I could do this, which will give us the better access to 368k. So I have any, and then you can go here, and you can go and get, say, a Bushby or something like that, who's done all right in her time, but that seems inconsistent. No, not really looking at that. Jax did all right, 368k. Montana Burildson did all right in her time as well. Doyle is doing her thing. You could do Ella Friend as well. She's done all right. Dersma, not really looking at that either. Chaplin Rose, Levi. So you could do something like, I think Syme would probably be the best option, and do something like that. But that would be a crazy play. And kind of not actually against that, not going to lie. Just doing something like that, because you get Frederick, and look at that forward line then. You finally fix up that forward line, and yes, you're making a massive play on Hartel doing something, but it's not the end of the world. And if you could actually line it up, you could do and find a team that something, and find a defender that also a defender here and play that, and then see if see whoever plays first, play them on the bench. And if they play well, play McDonald on field. And then if they don't play well, play Hartel there. So that is a play. Hartel will probably just stink though, and Frederick probably won't live up to the scoring that I need to do well. But I mean, that is a play. Who does Frederick play? They play Sydney without a ruck, so that actually could be a massive play now looking at it. But anyway, Western Gooch, Smith, Franklin, none of these girls really matter too much, but that is pretty much the video there, which is the 3 recordings today of the game reviews, and then tomorrow you get my round review, round 8, and then my trade targets, and also my tips will be Thursday, team preview, etc. and stuff like that, all those set of videos, and that'll be that. And then in the next coming weeks you will see probably some draft stuff, some best 23s, probably post draft as well, do that, as that'll help, I guess, sort of line up what we're doing in AFL Men's Fantasy, and then we scrap all of that for like 6 months, and we move over to the men's BBL with Supercoach, etc. like that in the coming weeks, as that has about 50 odd days to go. But anyway, That's the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.